to the bench. Today we're going to be looking over the ecoquad. It's a frame made by Flying Robots, and yeah, so we're just going to do like a quick rundown today actually on how to put together this frame. I'm going to share some tips and tricks from my side to put this thing together and make it, well, help you put it together as easy as possible. Well, okay, I'm just going to do like a quick rundown on what the Eco frame is all about. It's designed to be the ultimate freestyle frame. This has been over 2 years of R&D and lots of crashing and testing to be done. Now you get 3 versions of this frame. You get the cinematic version. This is the one I'm going to be building today. Frame weight is around 130 grams. You get the cinematic version. This is what I'm using, like I said, and then you get the cinematic HD version, the one with a little bit more space in the back to fit a DJI 8 unit. And the cinematic version I'm going to be building you got a little bit lower camera angle as well, and more height for you know, electronic stacks. You got, I think it's around 25 millimeters if I can remember. Yeah, if I remember correctly, it's 25 millimeters height. And then you get the freestyle version. That's a little bit more lower profile, which is 20 millimeters for, you know, in between the bottom plate and the top plate, so you can put in your stack. And you also get, you know, a little bit higher camera angle on the freestyle version. Yeah, I don't want to talk too much, and yeah, let's get to building this quad. And yeah, because I'm pretty hyped to fly it as well. So I've been flying the Reverb for a pretty long time now, and so as I'm running the 32 amp ESCs with the KISS V2 and Steele PDB, there is a mod that we need to do on this frame to fit in the Steele PDB, but it really is going to take you like maybe 1 or 2 minutes to do that mod if you got a drill. And yeah, let's get to building this thing. So this is what you get in the package. This is your bottom plate. You get your top plates. You got your 4 arms, and then this is your other bottom plate, 2 bags of hardware. And you got some screws and all that stuff, standoffs. And then you got your camera plates. Now this is a really special thing about this frame, is this camera cage in front, because it's your camera, like your FPV cam sits at a fixed angle, the same as where your GoPro is sitting at. I think the default angle, the lowest default angle, is somewhere around between 5 and 10 degrees or something like that. So all you got to do is just pop the screws inside. You can just lift up the cage and lock it back into place, and then your GoPro and your FPV camera will be sitting at exactly the same tilt degrees. So yeah, let's get to building this frame. So you get this little press nut thing. I just put it in before the video, just to, you know, speed up the whole process of the video. I don't want like to make like a full-hour video on how to assemble a frame. So what I like to start off is with the bottom plate. So what I like to do, so you just place it down, and what I got here is some thin double-sided tape, and I'm going to show you what to do with that right now. This just makes the whole process on assembling the arms a lot faster. Now when you look at the bottom plates, you get 2 sides. You got one side of the bottom plates a little bit wider than the bottom side, so obviously the wider part will be sitting on the front part of the frame, right there where the Q is at. You'll see the edges, they match up completely with each other, 100%. So what I like to do is you get this small little key thingy right there, and that's for your arms. If you look at your arms, you got multiple places it interlocks, and also got like a small beveled piece out there for your key. And yeah, it's kind of tricky putting it together, but if you just do what I say, well, if you do what I do, it's going to be easy, way easier. Okay, so what I like to do is just like to snip off a small piece of double-sided tape, and firstly I like to stick that on the key right there. This is just basically to keep your key in place so it doesn't fall around when you're assembling this arms part. So I'm going to try and get you a close up here. If you look at how the key is sitting there, it's a square little key, and your 4 arms is going to go into each corner of this key. It makes it super rigid. I guarantee you can't, like if arms are assembled, you can't even move it like literally 1 millimeter to the side. And then I also like to snip off 4 little pieces of double-sided tape. Just place it anywhere on the arms. That's why I place mine. It's just to keep it down. Okay, sweet. So as soon as that's done, you're gonna put your first arm on. Now you see the arms has got like this shape. Well, this will be the back and the front. If you put it like, if I can put it to you like this, you don't. When you look at the shape of the arms, so I don't know, it's simple. It's actually easy to understand. This is a bumper for the front. So it's just like if you fly into a wall, you don't hit motor first. So if you put the arms on like this, you know you got it right side around. So again, after you lay down the 4 arms with the key on the long bottom plate side, you just take this bottom plate. Remember, the wide part is coming on the front and the bit narrower part is coming at the back. Right, so looking at the screws, the hardware, you got short screws, you got medium screws, and you got long screws, and you got screws that's in between the medium and the short screws. Now you want to take the medium screws on this part right here, and first off, what I like to do, I like to add the first one in the center that goes through the keys, as it's going to push down on all 4 of the arms, so you can just get it easier into place. It's just to screw it down a lot easier. Okay, so this is where it comes to the part where I would say it's the KISS mod. I wouldn't say it's like the KISS mod, but yeah, this is a mod you need to do when you're going to be running something like the Wolf PDB or the Steele PDB. So as soon as you got all your arms in place, as you can see, it's really simple. All you got to do is make sure the key is on this side of the bottom plate and not on the bottom side of the frame. You get what I'm saying? So as soon as you got all that assembled, now when you look closely, this is where you would originally run the standoffs. So you got a screw going through the bottom plate, through the arm, through the bottom plate again, and you'll have your first standoff there in the back. Now when you do it like this and you add the Steele PDB, if you got to put the standoff there, the standoff would be in the way of the PDB. So what I did is I just move it to the back. Well, when you look at the pattern here, you can either put a 30 by 30 stack or 20 by 20 stack. Now the same goes for the back. You're gonna do you can have you can make use of the 30 by 20, well 30 by 30, 20 by 20 in the back as well, so you can run your speed controller with say like a 4-in-1 speed controller with a fire controller 30 by 30, or you can put your VTX in the back, something like a rush tank, also with a 30 by 30 mounting pattern or whatever. So yeah, that's why I'm using the rear 30 by 30 pattern to just put my standoffs in the back, so I'll be able to put in my steel or my wolf PDB right here, in order for the standoff to not be in the way, and my PDB not pushing up against the standoff. So yeah, it's really simple, and all you gotta do is just to mark that out. What I did was I laid it down and just tied the rear 2 screws. Let me show you here. So I matched up the rear 2 holes with each other, and that's why I marked it out and just drilled another 2 holes in the top plate. And I would also recommend for flying robot, if you can do that, you know, just in case someone wants to run the same setup, this KISS V2 with the steel PDB or the wolf PDB with the 32 amp ESCs, or whatever individual ESCs you want to run. So yeah, just gonna pop those standoffs right there. By the way, use the short screws for the standoffs you get with the kit. There you have it. Okay, now next we're going to be moving over to the camera plates. This is also a quite tricky one to assemble. Well, no, it's not that bad, but once you get it done, it's super cool to make use of the feature. It's been designed like this. Right, so again, you'll be using the short screws supplied in the hardware you got with the frame, and this is the one that's going to separate it, and it's also placed your GoPro to rest upon. And oh yeah, I just want to go over one thing. You see the inner, these are the inner K plates, well, camera plates. You'll see there's like countersunk sections right there. You want that to be on the outside, so when you assemble this 3D printed part, it's got a stand off right through it, so it really makes it solid. It doesn't make your camera plate squishy and be all janky. Okay, so once that is assembled, this is how it looks. You got 2 screws and your 3D printed part with the standoffs through, and 2 screws on the other side. Make sure the holes are on the outside. Okay, and next we're going to move over to these K plates. They're going to be sitting on the outside of these camera plates, and this is the cage. What makes it so cool is to adjust your camera and your GoPro angle and your FPV angle at the same time. So assembling these ones, you're going to be putting it into the frame at first. So you got like 4 small little nuts. They're also supplied in the kit, and those are going to be fitting in there, and you'll be using the medium length screws to tie these down, the ones you got in the hardware kit. So you can just slip that in there, so it's got like a pattern of the nuts, and just like that, and you just do the same to the other K plates. So when it's in, it's going to look like something like this, and then you'll see there's like a slide part in front, and that's the part that will be going in front like this. And you take your medium screws and you put these small little cup thingies over as cup washers. It's just to make it a more rigid tie down on the K plates. Alright, so now that that is in place, if you look closely, you have your 4 cup washers with the medium length screws going through into the nuts, which holds these plates down. It's rigid as hell. It ain't going nowhere. So next step, what you want to do is you take this camera plate you assembled, you just be sliding it in there, and that'll be sitting right there. And this is what makes this little part special right here, is being able to just, when you shoot those, you just like shoot them, the screws you'll be putting in here, and you can adjust your camera angle and your FPV camera angle at the same time, and then you just tighten it so your GoPro and your FPV camera is sitting exactly the same angle, not worrying to fuss about, you know, putting different degrees foam wedges or whatever on the top of your frame, which really makes the system very unique and comfortable to use in the field. So next off, what you want to do is you take the longer screws you'll be having supplied in the kits with the short little standoff right there, and this is going to be going, this is top plate. These two things are already assembled before the video because it's a tough one getting on, and yeah, I prefer being tough to getting on, as this is one of the core parts of this frame, keeping everything robust. So you're putting the small standoff in between those two parts right there. Make sure you line up the holes before the time, and then this part will be going in there. Well, when you look at, you got the holes there in this K plate, there in that K plate, and then they'll be going through those two holes into the canopy top plate. So make sure you line all of those holes up pretty well so you don't cross thread your, it's I must say it's a little bit tricky doing this part, but once it's in, you're not ever going to take it apart again, so you just luckily only do it once. Right, so this is it. It's not completely screwed in, but this is how it basically looks. And you want to fasten those all the way, not too tight yet. So just want to check if everything is working. Yeah, and this is what this makes this part special is, say like you crash or you damage something on the inside, maybe your antenna pops out or you got some sort of something like that that's happened to you. All you got to do is just loosen up this 4 nuts right here, and then you can just open up your canopy and you can be working inside your stack. Flip that down and you can just tie that down and you can continue flying. And this is where the camera cage, what makes it special. So you got like the slider part right there, you'll have a screw so you can lock that camera cage in place so don't move whatever camera angle you put it at. So if you're flying low angle, you can just push it down all the way, which I prefer. I would probably be flying on the lowest angle because I fly 5 to 10 degrees depending on what location I fly, and then I would just put the 2 screws into the side just to lock this cage in position so it don't move after you crash or anything like that. So I'm just gonna finish up the assembly of this frame, and yeah. Right, so there you have it, and the whole frame is 100% completely assembled, or not completely, just forgot to put in this screws right there, and this is just to lock your cage, camera angle. And this is what the Echo looks like, completely assembled. And yeah, I'm not gonna lie, this thing is freaking strong, man. There's no moving of any components. You can try and bend down on it, whatever you want to do. This thing is like, arms ain't moving like freaking like half a millimeter. I must say this thing is laying strong. It's tough as nails. I haven't really flown it yet, so I'll be doing ultimate testing. I've been flying the Reverb for a very long time now. This setup is going straight into this frame, and I'm going to be testing the crap out of it. And yeah, so that's it, dudes. To give you an idea how the system works. High angle, tighten up right there. Yeah, it ain't going nowhere. Just jump that screw. Jump the screw on that side. Just press it down. That's it. If you want to work on your stack, got 4 screws you need to remove. And you pop open up this canopy and you can work on the inside. Yeah. Hope you guys enjoyed. I'll be doing a video of popping all my electronics in here and what I find works the easiest to me, and yeah. Guess it's now just time for testing. Peace out.